Hey guys, let's start with new chapter of Loyalpin Volume 2, Chapter 42, Anger. I will marry Kunkua. Pilantita spoke and sobbed until it was incomprehensible. But still, all words resounded in Princess Anil's ears. It was as if Pilantita was whispering into her ear. What did you say, Kunpin? Princess Anil looked at the young woman prostrating at her feet, unable to believe her eyes. She bends down and sits on the ground before using both hands to support Lady Pinpilantita's thin shoulders gently. Kunpin, you don't have to force yourself like this. At this time, no answer came out from Pilantita's mouth. She kept shaking her head as tears fell down her face. Regarding us, I'll ask my father himself. After Princess Anil's words, Pilantita sobbed even more until she threw up. Don't do that, please. Don't sacrifice yourself like that. No matter what, I will marry Kunkua. When she saw Pilantita's stubborn attitude, Princess Anil's beautiful face suddenly turned pale, without the color of blood. She slowly raised her body to stand, her back straight, her two hands tightly clenched until they turned light red, before she spoke in a low, broken voice. Why did you give up so easily? Is this your love, Pilantita? This is all my fault. Please forgive me. This time Pilantita bowed at Princess Anil's feet before crying her heart out. Don't prostrate me. I'm not a goddess who can't cast anything to anyone. I'm just a human like you. I have flesh, blood, a heart, and experiencing the same pain and suffering. After she had spoken, Princess Anil quickly took her feet from Pilantita's grasp until the bottom of the skirt fluttered against Pilantita's face, which was wet with tears. She hurriedly walked out of the reading room of the Burapa palace and towards the front palace with a gesture of utmost anger. Pilantita, who still crouched on the room floor, continued to cry her eyes out. Prince Anant held Princess Alisa, who was inactive on the sofa, affectionately and gently. As for Princess Padmika, she felt in a dilemma. On the one hand, her heart was relieved when she noticed that Princess Anil could no longer push forward with her relationship with Pilantita. But on the other hand, she felt sorry for her niece, who looked as if she was about to suffocate to death, as she once said. By the time the Grand Prince was able to find his younger sister, it was late in the afternoon. In fact, Princess Anil was in a place that wasn't difficult to predict at all. At this time, Princess Anil stood and looked blankly at the window in the reading room of the front palace. Are you here? I'm looking for you, Anil. Where can I go? Her face was beautiful and calm, her mood challenging to guess. Only living in a narrow world of tight palace gates like this. You're right. Prince Anantavad bowed his face and looked at the ground while trying to smile weakly. More difficult than that is that the people's mind here are just as narrow. I was like that just a while ago. Prince Anand raised his head and looked blankly out of the window in the same gesture as his younger sister. I'm sorry, I wasn't able to protect you earlier. Don't blame yourself. Princess Anil glanced her eyes at the broad shoulders of her elder brother before making a long exhale. You only chose to protect me differently. The Grand Prince's eyes suddenly became weep, as he had not expected that his younger sister wouldn't be angry and blame him for choosing to lean towards mother rather than towards herself. You're very generous. The Grand Prince's voice was ragged as if the wind was blowing. Moreover, you're the bravest person I have ever met. Huh! Princess Anil just laughed. What's the benefit of being courageous? Kunpin told herself she would marry someone else. Kunpin said that because she was thinking of you. Thinking of me? Or thinking of my royal status? Prince Anantavat reached out and faintly touched his younger sister's thin shoulder with a soft touch before speaking in a very soft and gentle voice. Sister, even though I'm an outsider, it's seen that Kunpin loves you more than she loves herself. I used to think like that. Princess Anil shook her shoulder casually. But right now, I'm not sure. Well, how's mother doing? Not good. She's still busy with using the inhaler. Now she's sleeping. I'm such an ungrateful daughter. No, you are just claiming your rights. Then how's Auntie Pat doing? She is strong as ever. She is as strong as ever. Prince Anantavat smiled softly. In the midst of Kunpin's crying, her eyes out, and mother's call for an inhaler, it seemed that Auntie Pad is more conscious than anyone else. Did Lady Pin cry that much? Princess Anil raised her brow highly suspiciously. Anil, please know that after you left the room, Kunpin kept crying until she lost consciousness. Hearing this, Princess Anil immediately turned her face to meet the eyes of the Grand Prince. Her sharp, dark eyes were now dull and filled with glimmer of confusion. Is that so? Of course, it was like that. I had to carry and lie Lady Pin on the sofa for Auntie Pat to provide first aid for quite a while. When she woke up, she was dull and refused to speak. So Auntie Pat supported her and returned to the Bua Palace just a while ago. Princess Anil just listened to Grand Prince's word, quietly and without any movement. The only movement is her ring turning worn on her right ring finger back and forth mindlessly. Anil? Prince Anand spoke out his younger sister's name in a voice filled with trembling when he looked and saw very clearly that Princess Anil's behavior seemed absent minded elsewhere. He could see through a young woman in front of him with the utmost sorrow that she did not know how to express herself. Since time immemorial, no one had ever seen Princess Anil's tears, even just once. Even the wise prince had said, Anil does not cry. If you want to cry, please let it out. No one will say you are weak. I can't compete with Kunkua, brother. Finally, the first drop of tears came down her cheeks. Just then, Prince Anand embraced his younger sister, hugging her into his chest with care. It was as if Princess Anil was a very fragile piece of glass that was ready to break at any time. How can not being able to compete? My sister is superior in every way. Only because Kunkua is a male? Princess Anil had difficulty holding back her sobs. I have nothing to compete against. Prince Anand's heart ached violently, as if someone had taken a hammer and smashed it mercilessly. He tightened his embrace even more when he spoke to comfort his younger sister, who he always considered like his eldest daughter. How can being a man be superior to you? As long as Kunpin's heart remains firmly for you, you're always superior. Moreover, Kunkua still has a weakness, I'm sure. I just have to prove it for sure first. Anil, please wait for me. Is that Anil? As soon as Princess Alisa awoke, she saw that her younger daughter was sitting beside her bed. She grabbed Princess Anil's hand tightly. Can you come give me a hug? Princess Anil obediently nodded while moving her body towards her mother so she could hug her quickly. Princess Alisa embraced her daughter's delicate body and cuddled her in her arms very lovingly. And she kissed Princess Anil as if she were just a little girl. Please forgive me for being so aggressive towards you in the late morning. Princess Anil tightens her embrace sweetly and pleadingly. I can't be angry with you. Princess Alisa spoke before bending down to give a big kiss on Princess Anil's clear cheeks. However, you should never speak of renouncing your royal status again. Can you promise me? Princess Anil only gave mother a wry smile, but didn't say anything in response. Hearing that, I almost suffocated to death. You're my heart and your father's heart. Don't you know? Whatever father and mother wish for me, no matter how hard it is, I'm willing to do it. Princess Anil moved her body away from the embrace to make eye contact with her mother easily. Having to leave the country to study alone since I was a little kid and barely knew a thing, I did it. When I returned, mother didn't want me to practice the profession I studied, fearing that I would be in dire straits. I continued my studies to become a teacher like father and mother intended me to. Why is the only thing that I asked for, mother couldn't give me in return? So, what is the point of having such a high rank if I cannot grab what I desire? Anil, what you desire is inappropriate for you. How inappropriate is that? Is it so easy to meet the person I love, mother? Then please search for a man who is worth for me. When you can find the one who I can love the same rank or superior to me, only then I will completely forget Lady Pilantita from my heart. Otherwise, don't expect that in this entire life I'll be willing to marry anyone to waste my time. That's it for this chapter, guys. And I'll see you next with new chapter, chapter 43. From bottom of my heart, I really like to thank all my new subscribers. Thanks a lot.